Hey people, welcome to the channel, and this is gonna be 7 points, 7 new bits of information that we learned about Starfield thanks to the interview with Todd Howard from Kinda Funny Games, about 15 minutes long, 49 minutes long. If you appreciate what I'm doing here in the channel, and I see the channel growing a lot, so thank you so much for your support, but do subscribe. That really does help quite a bit if you appreciate what I try to do here and provide information without wasting your time. Let's get right to this. These are 7 points, and the first one is 920 shielded cargo and a pirate and smuggler gameplay. So you can do both. You can do the pirate thing, you can do the smuggling thing. This is what he said, and this is what caught my attention.
Palette of things and menu of things you could do, and then say what if, and then I'm gonna go do these things. And I think that idea of being a space pirate, there's a whole faction for it, by the way. With the
yeah, we knew that, yes.
Or being a smuggler, or having contraband and shielded cargo.
That we didn't know, at least I didn't know. So the contraband, you can be the pirate, yeah, smuggler, contraband, and shielded cargo. This is something that has been talked about in Star Citizen for so long and never materialized. Yet one more thing that Todd Howard said, oh really? You're talking about this and not doing it? You know what? I'll do it in Starfield. So, pirating, smuggling, and shielded cargo in Starfield. Number 2, it's going to be 10% life. That's going to be about minute 8. That's where he starts talking about that. Yeah, maybe a little bit sooner. All right, let me go there.
Show in it and sort of their passion for the project. They have all put so much into this game, and we just hope people love it as much as we do.
So Todd, first and foremost, thank you for, there's just so much information. There was just such a data dump. One on there, all the sandwiches, all those fun things, but it kind of leads into outside of the main story.
Kind of feeling is what we want, where you can look at the scope of the game and the sort of palette of things and menu of things you could do, and then say what if.
Yeah, okay, well basically at some point he starts explaining that 10% of the over 1,000 planets, 10% of them will have life. And he tries to make the point about, you know, contemplating the emptiness of it. And I get it, you cannot have 1,000 planets with 1,000 different life forms in each one, and multiple. So it's going to be only about 10% of these planets that have life. And also one more thing, he talks about different biomes. This is like in Terraria, where you have different biomes and you have one getting on top of the other and so on. So you will have different biomes in these planets, in these Goldilocks planets. And the rest is going to be what? Are they going to be completely empty? Well, no. You will have mining. You will have resources. You could set up a base in a planet that is a little bit more barren. You could go there for the resources that they have. And I'm pretty sure, given how they usually do things, even in these more barren, empty planets that are more mineral and resource rich for mining and that sort of stuff, I'm pretty sure you will have some base. You will have some outposts. You will have some stranded guy. You will have some story there going on for you to just maybe discover at that time and have fun going along with that. He also mentioned different weather, environmental conditions changing, so you will have to adapt to that, which I think it's all pretty great. 23, where is it that I'm going here? 2330. All right. Up. Yeah, about here, he talks about no land vehicle, right?
By the size and the scope of things, is there a land vehicle or an option to maybe mount some of these wildlife creatures to use as a land transportation mode of transport?
There is not. You know, we do design it.
No land vehicle, no mounts, like No Man's Sky.
So it feels good on foot.
And I don't want to stop this all the time, but it's all the time reference to No Man's Sky. This is inspired, you know, by whatever it is that they were inspired in. But at this point, this is so heavily inspired on No Man's Sky and making it better, which I'm all for it. That's fantastic. I liked the idea. I love the idea of a more realistic, improved No Man's Sky. It has 1 billion planets. That's great, but it doesn't change anything for me. This does. Having more role play elements, having more meat in that structure is definitely better.
We do have the boost pack. You saw some of that in the video.
So he calls it boost pack. Let me call that a jet pack. And it looks cool enough. Having played No Man's Sky quite a bit, one of the things I do realize is that in No Man's Sky, you have a bunch of different land vehicles. Guess how many times I've used them? Never. The only thing I did wish is that the backpack, the jetpack, was a little bit better, and that seems to be exactly what they did. This guy is so good at what he does.
The boost pack. So the boost pack almost acts like this vehicle.
Right.
Super fun, where you can fly through, and
Perfect.
the low gravity planets are just really, really something special in the game.
Ideal, perfect. That's all I ever wanted. I don't even use the land vehicles in No Man's Sky. There's no point to it. And you kind of want to have a little bit more of a jetpack because it's a little bit short range and you can improve it and it gets better and so on. But this sounds exactly what I wanted. And besides, keep in mind that eventually someone will come up with some kind of land vehicle if you're desperate for that. Moving on, that was number 3, no land vehicles, but jetpack. Number 4. Asking companions in your ships, going solo. Yes, you can go solo, and there seems to be perks for doing so.
You tell them where to go. You can assign them. You can assign them to outposts. You can change based on the decisions you're making in the game.
If I get mad at my companions, Todd, can I space them and take them and make them walk the plank on my spaceship?
You can leave them behind. You can tell them where to go. You can assign them. You can assign them to outposts. You can assign them to ships that you're not using and things like that.
Okay, so you can do it solo. He talked about some perks for going solo in the missions. You assign them to outposts. You assign them to ships. One of the things I love to see, I don't know if this is in-game or not, is assign one of these guys to one of the ships. I'm not using it, and maybe have him do cargo runs or do something on his own and create some kind of like some income, additional income for assigning that guy to that ship, separate from whatever I'm doing. That would be a pretty cool take on things, if that was possible or not. Not sure if that's what he means by assigning the guy to a ship that you're not currently using, but that would be something nice to look into. Number 5, a little bit more on ships. He talked more about that on 33. Oh, there is 20. You get there. All right.
Really unique feel. And I'll say, when we designed the game originally, when you go into sci-fi, we sort of start with what kind of spacesuit do we want? What does that look like? What do the weapons look like? And it took us a long time on ships.
Yeah.
Because there's so many ships in games. And how do we do them where they look cool, but they feel believable, where you can draw the line from where we are today to these kind of ships, while also allowing the player to build them. So that actually, along with the planets, was a big challenge for us, and we all love where it's ended up.
That's great.
I have kind of a nerdy tech lore question. One of the things I love, because I love the nerdy science stuff, and I'm sure that instantaneous communication over like the span.
Or the graviton loop field array, the way the different.
Okay, well, one of the things he explained about the ships, that it's one of the things they obviously focus a lot on, and some of the earlier trailers from last year, ships didn't look like all that much. These look a lot better, and they obviously showcase. I don't know if they improved it over this period of time or just showing it better, but I see something that I like a lot more. You can customize them quite a bit, but he also made the point about this is not going to be early stage of the game. You're not going to be modding your ships right away. It's going to be more advanced. It's going to be expensive, right? So it's not something you jump into right away. He says that it's quite complex and in a good way, like something that's not just you start playing and you start moving around bits and pieces and you start building ships. No, it's going to be more advanced, more difficult to get to that point, which I definitely like. He also explained that once you pirate a ship, you steal a ship, you actually have to register that ship so as to use it as your own. So that's going to be additional cost besides whatever it's not you just get a ship for free. I guess that the registering part kind of levels the economy, which, man, again, it's all home runs from what I'm hearing. All things that I just love that they're doing. Let's go. That was number 5. Let's go number 6. Dozens of quests at the same time. 36. Where's that? All right, about here.
Gets even crazier. Our quest system, I think people are, there are a lot of open world games now, but I think what really makes ours different is that all these quests are running. It's not like you start a mission and we shut everything down. You can be on dozens of these at once, and that creates a lot of chaos sometimes.
Yeah, I can get
that, but it also creates these magic moments that we just love and our players love, and I think that's what's really
Skyrim kind of thing where you just tick, and sometimes you try to control yourself as to not activate so many missions at the same time, but usually you have like a half a dozen of them going on, and it's cool. Sometimes you find yourself on the same planet, or sometimes he was asked at some point about, I think the bald guy was like, oh, I hate those fetch missions where it's, raiders took my favorite pair of boots, go get it and I'll reward you. Kind of like that kind of typical. It's still there. It's nothing. They're not reinventing the wheel until someone finds another solution for quests and missions and so on. But I find that I'm okay with most of the Skyrim Fallout missions. Yeah, some are a little bit more fetchy than others. Some are more original than others. But yeah, it's kind of what it is. And I'm all for it. I'm sure that, of course, some of the main missions or some of the main story missions will be a lot more involving and more intricate and have more detail to it. Not as simple as go fetch something or go shoot that guy. But yeah, as long as there's stories going on, as long as they have lots of these and they are fun, they're either funny, they're entertaining, you get something cool, all good, at least for me. Last one, number 7, and this is maybe the coolest of them all, which is modding. This is great news, guys, because this is something we've heard about, but not to this level.
Been classically single player. That has been our community.
Yeah, no problem.
People are still modding our games and playing them. So we're doing a lot of it, and I think one of the things that I'll call out is it's important for us not just to enable that, but to participate, right? To make it easy for them, to make this where they can make it not just a hobby, but a career. We've had a lot of great success there. So
there you go.
Looking forward to what everyone's going to do with STARFIELD, just like cannot imagine.
It's not just that, oh, modern, no, they will be actively involved in encouraging, rewarding, and financially encouraging and paying these guys. He's saying something different. It's not just we allow you to do this, which, not many companies have this, but no, they've gotten smart at it. And you know what? It's not just we allow you, we let you, we make it easy. No, we encourage you, and this may end up being a career for you. So go do a good job. This is all fantastic. These are all great bits of news. This one is probably my favorite because this means that there's going to be an entire, a universe of people working on making some of the best mods you've seen in any video game, and I'm all for that. The way the tech is these days, some creative guy in the middle of nowhere may come up with something awesome for us to enjoy, and this guy saw that and is encouraging that. So it's all good stuff. I'm super happy with it. Guys, that's going to be all for now. Again, do subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what I'm doing here. See you next time. Take care.